When you're in any kind of sales, you're not trying to coerce them into the next transaction. You're trying to get them to where they want to be.
Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Smart Agents Podcast. My name is Michael Walter and I'll be your host. On today's episode, we are joined by Lynnea and Naima of Reezy.net. Based in the Washington, D.C. area, they have teamed up to help agents better systemize their lead generation and marketing process to maximize their income. Now, before we get into the day's featured interview, make sure to follow and subscribe to the show on whatever platform you listen to podcasts. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the list goes on. Also, as you can see if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Smart Agents YouTube channel. Click the bell to get notifications when each new episode is uploaded. And lastly, if you or somebody else on your team has an awesome story or a tip to share with our community, send us a message at feedback@smartagents.com. We're always on the lookout for new stories to share. All right, let's get on to the day's featured interview with the ladies of Reezy.net. If you would like to check out their website or Facebook page, I've included links in the episode description. Just the way I like to start everything out is if you could tell me where you're at in the country and kind of what your background in real estate is.
Okay, so we are located in Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C. And our background is growing up. We're both licensed agents. We're both licensed in Maryland, and I'm also licensed in D.C. Me and my partner, Naima. We grew up with family members who are part of real estate, her father, her grandmother, and she's worked with various real estate agents. My grandfather was an agent. And from watching them, we were like, we never want to be agents. They're always like running around. They didn't have income, no processes, filing bankruptcy, all the things. So then we found ourselves both working in real estate at separate brokerages. I work with agents talking about branding and marketing to get more clients using print media and social media. She has created a process for the brokerage that she works with as far as lead gen, follow up, all of that for agents. And we have taken the two things that we do to create like a process, a system for agents to help them lower the amount of transactions that they do per month, but increase the amount of income that they're making per month without chasing tire kickers and things like that. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Naima?
Yeah, for me, I have a degree in industrial engineering. And like she said, my dad was a real estate agent, my grandma, my uncles, my aunts. Like when I tell you I was raised in a real estate family, I really was. And that same sentiment of like, oh my God, real estate agents are so unorganized. Oh my gosh, what are they doing? I've kind of like got into that, but just hanging around the broker all the time, agents started asking me to help them with their businesses. And once I started doing that, I started looking at like the things they do, like paying for Zillow leads and Realtor.com leads and how much ROI they lose in not having follow-up systems. So I started doing things like running Facebook ads for them, building out follow-up systems, building out scripting and ringless voicemail into those systems. And then I got hired by a local brokerage to do that. So I built out a whole department at one of our local brokerages for lead gen and follow-up systems. So that is my background in this. And now, because we've developed this system and we have been helping agents over this time, we are now, we created our Reezy Method for coaching and utilizing these systems for agents. And soon we plan to come together at the same brokerage and build out our own teams for this as well.
Great.
Yep, and we're going to teach our agents how to make real estate real easy using our Reezy Method.
Awesome. Well, all right. So you guys both come from real estate backgrounds, but both were like, I never want to get into this because it's crazy and people are all over the place. But here you are. Yeah. So what happened? What happened to that whole idea of I'm never going to get into this?
For me, it started like, okay, I'm helping real estate agents generate leads and do all of these things. And I've been doing it for years. And I was like, well, at least I can get my license to at least get referrals.
Right. So Now that you, let's, I guess, first kind of start off with the processes. And because I think that's something, that a lot of times people there is no process. There's a bunch of sticky notes everywhere, and that is about the process. Tell me a little bit about, what you saw that could really help people.
So one of the biggest things, and this is in general, I have a marketing background. I went to school for communications, public relations specifically. Consistency. Agents are not consistent. Naima and I have had this conversation, but for me, like I'm working with them with marketing and branding. They're looking for the easy way. They want to do it 2 times, like 2 times. They expect all these leads to fall out the sky. And that's not the way it works. They have to be consistently showing up. They have to consistently make sure that they stay top of mind. It's consistency in all of it. Even with Naima, when we've discussed like agents that she worked with as far as like helping them find leads and all of that, like they don't follow up with the leads that they have. They're just jumping from lead to lead to lead, and they're leaving money on the table because I think they say it can take but like 5 to 7 times of contacting someone before it converts into a sale. But if you're only talking to them 2 times, you're not going to get it. Somebody else is. So then you're spinning your wheels, trying to make these sales, help these clients, and you're not making any money. And then that's what happens why a lot of real estate agents don't make it past like 18 months because they're broke. They haven't made any money, and then they just leave the business.
Right. And then, when it comes to specifically kind of setting up some of those processes, you talked about working in, you have, you've developed a lot of scripting and those kind of those touch points. What are some of your, tips and really the things that you keyed in on that you saw that are really successful? What kind of, is it the phone call? Is it the mailing? Like, what are you really kind of keying in on?
It's the combination of things. So for me, with building out the systems, I've built out systems where they're automated so that the email is going out, so that the phone call is going out, so that the letter is going out. And then, also the event, right? Because that's huge in this world right now, the event, bringing people into who you are and into your world. So people get to know, like, and trust you. People have the most successful people in sales, like even on social media and things like that, are the ones that show themselves who they are. And so that's like a huge thing. So that's one of our things as well. Like really, like for branding, putting yourself out there, letting people know who you are so they can connect with you on a serious level, and then inviting them into your world. Like, for virtual events and things like that. Like if you do just a, like a happy hour, a virtual happy hour, things like that, but that gets people, connecting with you on a different level. And right. That gets people using you more as a real estate agent.
Right. And when it comes to the social media, a lot of times you see just Instagram pages full of, just listed, just sold with a photo of the house, but there's never a photo of the person there. Right. And it's, it doesn't do you any good if I'm scrolling through and I happen to find you on, you just end up in my feed, but I never put a face to the name that's there.
Right. And then the other thing
and that's what
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So I was going to say, and that's one of the big things that I actually talk to agents about. I'm like, you can't just be the agent who's posting just listed, just sold, open house, send me your referrals. Like you need to be someone, like Naima said, that people know, like, and trust. And the only way to do that is if you show up and you show yourself. So you establish yourself as a knowledge expert in a specific neighborhood, working with a specific demographic, whatever it is. You show up, you give people content, you give people information, and that helps them trust you, because on social media, like if they've never met you in person, all they know is that you're a real estate agent. They don't know if you're good. They don't know what you know. So they can see you're just listed and go talk to the real estate agent that they know and have them show up to you,
Yeah. And then the other part of it is what we teach in Real Estate Real Easy is showing yourself means you'll start attracting people that are more like you. So that makes your business more enjoyable. You're not out here trying to create some kind of facade of somebody that you're not, because if you do, you're going to attract people that you don't like in your business. you're going to attract people that are going to make it more difficult for you to process through business. And those transactions are going to be harder to get through. So attracting people that are more like you in the mindset of you being more like the person you want to attract in your life.
Right, right.
Yep.
And then just with the social media, you know, I think a lot of times people put things out there and they're like, oh, well, it's social media, everybody will see it, but there's still that wall there. And by doing the stories of, like just the Instagram stories of walking through a house and showing a little bit of your personality and stuff, you're breaking down that barrier for people.
Exactly.
I think that's something that it doesn't take a lot of time anymore because you don't need a huge camera crew or anything, it's just your phone and you.
Phone. Yeah.
Put on your phone and put some information. If you have anything really good in your stories, put it on your page too, so other people can see it.
Yeah. And even if it's anything around your belief systems or anything like that, put it in your stories. Let people know who you are. Like we've had agents say, well, I have, a business in, say, for instance, videography, but should I be more professional for my real estate business? No, be who you are.
And then you'll attract the people who like you, and you don't have to pretend, like Naima was saying, put on a facade like you're somebody that you're not. This is me. You see me on my page. This is how I am in real life. So.
Well, and that brings up a good point is that people, a lot of times people have their personal page and their professional page, but really by blending the two is how you're going to attract the people that you want to attract.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
So, and I like this idea of also, by attracting those people and making everything more enjoyable for yourself. What are some of those tips for you, besides just, the posting and the doing, showing your personality to kind of start attracting those people that you want to work with?
So for me, and this is just personal to me, it's you got to start working on you. As a lot of people read business books and things like that and mindset books, but start taking a deep dive into what is you. What do you really like? What do you really, if you're a traveling person, start talking about traveling. If you are a person that likes to climb the mountains, talk about that. Those things are like truly you and truly your heart and soul, because that helps you connect with people on a different level. It's about giving people what they want in real estate. When you're in any kind of sales, you're not trying to coerce them into the next transaction. You're trying to get them to where they want to be. And once you get into the heart and soul of yourself and getting yourself to where you want to be, you can easily help people do that. It's a transformation. Everything's a transformation for me. Yeah. And that's what, I really want to help agents do, that we really want to help agents do.
Right.
Yeah. And additionally, so with our Reezy Method, we have 3 pillars. And one of the pillars that we teach is, who do you have a heart to serve? So as far as like Naima's like, you think about like the person you are, like your unique value, who are you? But then you also think about, who do you have the heart to serve? Because the people that you want to serve are the people you would care most about helping be successful, especially in like real estate, because real estate, like buying and selling a home, is such a personal experience that you want to work with somebody who actually cares. So that is another thing that you want to show, your personality, but you also show the things that you can do as an agent, as yourself, for the people that you really want to serve. And it's not just about like the commission, because a lot of people, like we did some research where it says like, you just put in real estate agents are or realtors are, and it says they're obsolete, they're parasites, all
they're
of these
liars.
things. And this is So this is how you come across as the agent who cares, by defining who you are and defining the people that you want to help.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes even leaning into your own pain points, because we like to block those out, things that we've gone through in our lives. But if you've had any kind of issues in your life or anything like that, and you're in a position where you can bring people out of that, but you can relate to where they are, it's about empathy for people. So you relate to where they are and you can talk to them in their language and they can understand you and you can understand them. And how you've pulled yourself out, you're helping pull them out too. And so getting into that.
Right. And so when it comes to, people trying to figure out that, that group of people that they want to work with, I'd imagine that's something that can't be done right when they get into it. It's almost, as they're kind of going through maybe that first year to 18 months is really kind of figuring that out, because every transaction is going to be a little bit different. So do you suggest that people like really kind of do almost a decompress of each transaction and say, okay, what worked, what didn't work? Did I enjoy that? And kind of start building out that group that way?
Yes. And also, what you're suggesting, I believe in, because also to identify where you're strong, right? Because that builds into the point where you start building your leverage, right? I'm strong here, so I need leverage in this area to help my real estate business become more easy as well.
Right. Right. I mean, because, I talk to a lot of people that when they're first starting out, a lot of times people are, they're starting out as buyer's agents, but they all have these aspirations to be listing agents because, obviously, it's just what is perceived as the natural progression. But some people might just really enjoy getting people into that home of their dreams. And if that is something that is giving them personal joy, don't walk away from that.
Right.
Exactly. Just because someone else said that this is the next thing that you should do, stay where you enjoy.
And that's where you even partner with people, right? So if you like doing the buyers, partner with somebody that loves doing the listings and make your business what you really, truly want it to be.
Right. And I think that it goes back to, a lot of the goal planning of, okay, and really looking at your personal finances and saying, okay, what do I need each year to get me where I want to be? As long as you're making a surplus of what you need, you should be okay.
Right. And that's another one of our pillars, the money you want to make. We realize that many agents don't even look at the fact that they could sell one $400,000 house a month and make the income that they want to make. Like everybody, like we talk to so many agents, like, so how many transactions do you want to do? Like 5 or 6 a month. But why?
Right.
Why?
Just because they heard that the more transactions you do, the more money you make. But that's not always true. You can do a lot of really cheap transactions, still not be where you want to be. And then you're tired.
Right. And then you haven't even served the client at a high level because you're so spread so thin. So you fall into those categories. Like if you Googled it right now, it'll say realtors are parasites. Realtors are liars. Realtors are stupid. You put yourself in those categories because you're trying to do too much and you're not serving the client at a high level. So they don't even look at their income levels. Like you can sell one house a month and make that 6-figure income.
Right. Well, and then also as you move along in your career, those people that you really served and really did a good job for, they're referring you more business and eventually going to use you again later on. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
especially if they stay in contact and consistent, because sometimes they don't do that either. So then they still lose the client. So that's where the consistency comes in also, because you want to still constantly connect with the people that you did serve. So that way, years down the line, when they're ready, they come in contact with someone who is ready, they'll remember you and how to get in touch with you.
Right. And so with your processes, is that something that you're also building into that process, those touches with the past clients?
Yep.
Yes, those touches.
We have a monthly system.
Yep. Touches with the past clients, and not only just about real estate, but just helping them get what they need. If they need a lawyer, if they need a hairdresser, if they need anything like that, reaching out to see what they really need for their families. Like, do they want a recommendation to a private school? Just being that person, the person that helps you. And then once that happens, even with businesses, you get referrals on that side. So if I'm referring you to my hairdresser and the hairdresser knows me now, so they'll refer real estate business as well.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I think, and you talked about it earlier, you want to be that community expert. And by that's how you become that community expert.
Yes.
Exactly.
Great. Well, where can people find you guys? What's the best place for people to find your business?
They can find us on Instagram at the Reezy Method.
and on Facebook at the Reezy Method. So we're both places right now. And they can follow us and connect with us. And we are rolling out lots of information daily. And we're in the process of, we finalized our coaching course. So we're rolling that out too, so that way we can assist agents with making their real estate real easy using the Reezy Method.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on doing it. I mean, it's a big step, and hopefully, next time I talk to you guys, it's huge and doing great things. And you guys have your own brokerage.
Yes.
That's the plan. That's part of our plan. So
Great.
It's coming.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me for a few minutes this morning.
Thank you, Michael.
Much.
I really want to thank Lynnea and Naima for taking the time to join us today. And remember, links are in the episode description for both their website and Facebook page. So once again, if you think you or somebody else on your team has an awesome story or tip to share with our community, send us a message at feedback@smartagents.com. Well, that wraps things up for this episode, but remember, follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts and make sure to subscribe to the Smart Agents YouTube channel. Again, I'm Michael Walter, and we'll see you on the next episode.